circulation. Okay, that's all for the third, fourth, and sixth. So now we do the fifth one.
Just add something. Okay, before we go on to the fifth one.
Yep.
So for the first one, right? For the olfactory nerve, what substance you should never use to test the smell? Ammonia, because ammonia is a very strong smell. Which if the patient can smell it, smell it because of the fifth cranial nerve, not because of their first cranial nerve. It's the one thing that you must remember. Second thing, just now it's correct, we do check in the hash manner. But one thing you should ask the patient to do is when you asking the patient to do the hash thing, you use one finger and ask him to look at your finger. And you must always ask the patient, how many fingers do you saw? Then you move down, how many fingers do you saw? How many fingers did you saw? Because if the patient saw 2 fingers instead of 1 finger, what does it mean? Diplopia, right? So you must ask this one also. And one last thing we should check is the swinging pen torch test. We must do the swinging pen torch test. So, like just Daniel said, it's a good practice to ask your patient to put his hand in the middle of his wrist. And what you do is, swinging pen torch means you simply swing your pen torch from the one eye to the other eye. So, example, from one eye, then check. And what do you want to check for? Marcus Gun pupil. So if you don't know what is Marcus Gun pupil, go back home and find what is it. And this is how you elicit this sign. Another name is called RAPD. Referent? Relative afferent pupillary defect. So this is how you do it, swinging pen torch test.
Okay, thank you. Okay, so now we carry on to the fifth nerve. Okay, fifth nerve is a mixed nerve, right? Sensory and motor. So we do the sensory first. What we do? We divide the face in left and right side. Then after that, we divide the head into another 3 divisions. Because we know that the sense for the trigeminal, 3 division: ophthalmic, maxillary, and mandibular. So the borderline, the easier way to remember is from the eye until the initial part of the ears. This above this line is considered as the ophthalmic part, and then from the mouth until to the end to the bottom part of the ear is considered as the maxillary, and then from below that is considered as the mandibular. This is the easier way to remember. But actually, they say it's from another literature that I saw is from the nose here until the. It's not from here, but it's from here, from the nasal labial fold to the ears. Okay, but you just need to remember the border. So when you want to test for the sensation for the face, you must always remember you don't touch at the midline of the face, and you don't touch it at the border of the face, because the midline and also the border is actually there are many branches located at that area, and the branches is contributed by maybe from the ophthalmic with the maxillary, or maybe ophthalmic. If you touch the midline, it may be contributed from the left and right side of the ophthalmic. What you want to test is to test precisely. If it's ophthalmic, we want to know whether it's right ophthalmic or left ophthalmic. We want to test precisely. So remember, avoid the midline and avoid the border. What else I can add? Okay, so now I want to test the sensation. So okay, Mr. Wong, can you please close your eye, please? The reason we close your eyes so that we don't let the patient know where we are touching on. Okay. Tell me if you can feel the touch, okay? See, when I touch, I avoid the midline, I avoid the border. That's why I touch this area. Okay, so so by that I examine the I examine all the parts of the face. So yeah, this is all to check the sensory. Oh, sorry. Before I proceed, fifth nerve divided into 4 parts for examination. The first one is just now that I already told you, is to check for the sensory. The second part is to check for corneal reflex. Okay. The third part is to check for the motor component of the trigeminal nerve, and the fourth part is to check for the jaw jerk. Okay. Four components you need to do. So I have done with the first part, which is to check for the sensation of the face. So now I will check for the corneal reflex. For the corneal reflex, if you want to, I will not show this. I mean, I will not do it for real. I just demonstrate here. First of all, we need the patient to remove the spectacles. Let's say you want to test for the left eye, you need to ask patient to look at the right side. The reason for doing this is because we want to review the patient's sclera more. When the patient look at the left side, you see the sclera part is more here, okay? So what you do, usually we take the cotton wool, then we make it into something sharp, just twist it. Make it sharp, and then we just touch on the patient's sclera, okay, the white color part. So if the corneal reflex is intact, the patient will blink his eyes, okay. Same thing for the another side. This is how we check for the corneal reflex, and then yeah, motor component of the trigeminal nerve, the third part. So to check for the motor component of the trigeminal nerve, we test for okay, the motor component of the trigeminal nerve. What is the function? Mastication, right? So it's all around the mouth. First step, Mr. Wong, can you please clench your jaw for me? No, you don't have to produce the sound. I mean, you just try to clench it. Yeah, you can see the patient able to clench it. Then after that, Mr. Wong, can you please move your jaw to the left, to the right? Must check for the movement. The reason we check for clenching is to see the function of the musculus masseter and also the function of musculus temporalis. And the reason we ask patient to move the jaw to the left or to the right is to check for the musculus pterygoideus, medialis, and also lateralis. Okay, these are 4 muscles that are taking care of mastication. Then after that, we ask the patient, can you please open your mouth, try to resist my strength. So you try to, you ask the patient to open his mouth, and then you try to close his mouth, try to ask him to resist your strength. Okay, this is the motor component. That's it for the motor component for the trigeminal nerve. And then is the last part is to check for the jaw jerk. For the jaw jerk, how we do it? Okay, the theory part first. Jaw jerk is not always present on an ordinary person. 50% of the cases is absent and is normal. Okay, so the rationale here is, if it is absent, it means nothing. But if it's present and is hyper reflex, that means like the patient's like the movement is exaggerated, then only it is clinically significant. If absent, not significant. If it is just normal reflex, not significant. It's only significant when it is over exaggerated. So how we do it? We put our finger on his jaw, and then we just strike on our finger. Okay. Before that, you must ask the patient to jaw hang loose. That means that don't just hang loose your jaw. Okay.